All things must change when change is the only constant. You can't stay where you are anymore, and a new pathway is opening for you. It's bigger than ever before. And this shift is going to put you into the limelight. But it's a reflection of a spotlight that you've got on your soul. An illumination on parts of yourself that you discovered in your hero's journey. As you were diving deep, as you were discovering and observing your own patterns, tendencies. Through understanding yourself, you understand the all, because the only way to gain true wisdom is through self-knowledge, is to know thyself. And so through knowing yourself, through understanding how the patterns work, how consciousness works, you can see how it's all contained within the whole. That's what holographic means. The whole is contained within the parts. And so this pattern recognition of yours is a special ability you have to see patterns where others see noise. You understand that nothing is random, and the world is going through big shifts right now. Economic shifts, power shifts, and also cosmic shifts. We're in a movement into a new paradigm, and also into the space age. Technology is rapidly advancing, and also people are waking up to a desire for greater freedom and quality of life. And that's where you come into the picture. You're meant to be a bridge for this process. And to help translate the bigger picture, connected to the power, the Two of Wands, but also primal within the body, like being fully embodied, acting as that capacitor, as that translator of that higher frequency. And that's what you learn to create your own reality, right? It's to master your mind and the words that you speak. Two of Wands is all about the choice of where you point your wand, which is your attention, which is your creative power, right? It is the power of the consciousness to create. To wield the wand is to wield the word. For what you speak, you surely will create. And with the Eight of Cups, remember that you are the temple, and that the structures that you create within your own consciousness, as you repattern yourself, the beliefs that you create in your mind are the spells that you will speak, and they're the ways that you will structure your life and that you will act, because when you're a certain identity version of you, you play that avatar on the screen of space. It's just how it works. If you want to change your reality, you need to change the structures of your mind. Here with the Eight of Cups, speaking to also paying attention to your emotions. What are you filling your cups with? The Devil. Be mindful of filling your cups with negative emotions, with focusing on distractions. The devil always comes in to test you. The devil is that which tests you into your power. It's like when Jesus was 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, and the devil comes to him and tries to tempt him. And he is just like, no. That's sovereignty. So that's what the devil tests is, are you actually sovereign? In the face of temptation, in the face of trial, will you fold? And if you won't, if you'll follow the way of the divine, you pass the test. And so the actual role here of the trickster is to get you to actually claim your own sovereignty. So I wanted to read something from this book I just recently got, The Way of Hermes. But understand this, that every living body consists of matter and soul, whether that body is of an immortal or a mortal being, or that of a dumb creature. For all living bodies have a soul, whereas those which are not alive are simply matter. Likewise, soul by itself, present with the Creator, is the cause of life. But he who is the cause of the immortals is the whole cause of life. How is it that he creates other living creatures from mortals? How can what is immortal and creates immortality not create what belongs to living creatures? Clearly, there is a creator of these things, and it is very evident that there is only one. For soul is one, life is one, and matter is one. Who is he? Who else but the one God? Who else could give living creatures a soul but the one God? Therefore, God is one. It is quite ridiculous that you acknowledge the cosmos to be everlasting, the sun to be one, the moon to be one, and the divine nature to be one, yet you think God to be one of a series. This one God makes everything. A plurality of gods would be absurd. Is it surprising that God creates life and soul, immortality and transformation, when you yourself do so many things? For you see and speak, hear and smell, touch, walk about, think and breathe. There is not one who sees and another who hears, one who speaks and another who touches, one who smells and another who walks, one who thinks and another who breathes. There is a single one who does all these things. But none of this is possible without God, or I would say source. For just as if you cease doing these things, you are no longer a living being. And so if God ceases from these things, though it is impious to say, he is no longer God. For if it could be shown that without doing these things you cannot exist, how much more is this true of God? For if there is anything he does not create, then disgraceful though it be to say it, he is not perfect. And since he is not idle, but he is perfect, he creates all things. Give me your undivided attention for a while, O Hermes, and you will easily understand how the work of God is one, actually it says, to bring all things into being, those that are, and those that have once been, and those that will be. Interesting. I feel like that is speaking to the one source that expresses through many different forms, many different expressions of that oneness that connects all things, that creative consciousness, the creator. And through this hermit phase has allowed you to connect to the oneness, connect to the creator, and realize how that power lives within you. To realize that you are one with that power. And within you holds a choice, Two of Pentacles here, of what it is that you create, what it is that you bring into form with your participatory co-creation. Oh. Ace of Swords, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. The locus of your focus gives you hocus pocus. It's like whatever you pay attention to grows. And so you have the power to change your focus. This is the eye of Horus. This is the actual eye of infinity that is looking through you. So wherever you are looking, you're acting as an aperture for the infinite to experience form. And here with the King of Pentacles, that's the power you hold to be a channel for that here into the material plane, into the creative endeavors that you bring, into the structures that you materialize. This is the magic you're after. Two of Swords, and with each of this comes a choice of what you focus on in any moment. So realize the power that you hold within the focus of your awareness, within the thoughts that you think, within the quality of the frequencies of the state of mind that you hold, because that is how you embody the identity of the wealthy version of you. That is how you manifest your dreams. That's how you create your dream reality. That is how you manifest the love that you want in your life. It's all about your mind state, your state of consciousness, the frequency that you're vibrating at, and the words that you speak into existence, the Four of Cups. And these are the pathways that you're carving out. These are the channels through which your energy flows, coming into fruition, creating your reality. This is what you came here to master. And this is also the mystery.